Your mental comes first. So if you feel like you gotta leave something that you did not sign up for, you gotta do that, because you need your mind more than anything. If you don't got this, you ain't gonna be able to do nothing. Hey family, what's going on? It's your girl Tatiana Moss, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I talk about sexual wellness, fashion, lifestyle, career, entrepreneurship advice. So if any of those things are of interest to you, go ahead and click that subscribe button down below so you can become part of the family too. And for my returning viewers, hey family, what's going on? Thank you so much for coming back and clicking on another video from your girl. So today, y'all, we are going to be talking about the pros and cons of social work. So I really try to keep things very fun and light and airy on my channel, and also informative. But I wanted to just get this video out here because I know a lot of you guys are social work savvy. So shout out to y'all. And I wanted you guys to be able to know what you're getting yourself into with everything in life. In every profession, there's always going to be some good and some bad, but I wanted to make this video, like I said, to help you guys to be able to figure out, you know, is social work actually the right path for you? Because even though it is a really, really great profession to be in, it is a lot of things that are still needing to be figured out when it comes to the field, and we'll talk about it in this video. But anyways, y'all, if you guys are ready for it, don't forget to give your girl a thumbs up, and let's get right into it. Okay, y'all, so I'm gonna be reading off of my phone, so don't mind me. We're gonna go back and forth, so I'm gonna try to like titter tatter like from a pro and then a con, or whatever the case may be. So of course, since we're trying to be positive here, we're gonna try to start things off on a good note. So one of the pros I feel like to being a social worker is impacting lives. Like, it's nothing like being able to do something and go to work and you feel like you're serving a purpose. You're going there, you're helping people solve their problems, or help them to navigate in a better way so they could be able to get out here and do things without you being there. That's the whole point, I feel like, of being a social worker, is I'm here to help you to learn how to do this so you can do this by yourself and I don't have to no longer be here. That's what I feel like a social worker is, if you ask me personally. So I feel very, very like fulfilled being in this field, because I feel like every day I wake up, I'm going to help somebody. I'm going to make somebody's lives better. I'm going to help change their environment or wherever it is. Or if I can bring them a little bit of peace or happiness in their day, that makes me feel good, knowing that I'm able to give somebody that. So I feel like that's one of the biggest reasons that I feel like people become social workers, because they want to be able to like help and whatnot. So I would definitely say that has to be the #1 pro and my favorite thing about being a social worker personally. Now let's get on to a con. So a con of being a social worker, I feel like, is the pay. Now, and I've said this before too, I feel like in one of my videos, social work videos, you can make money wherever you go. You are a money magnet. If you believe you can make money, you're gonna make money. But realistically, they do try to downplay us. Like, I just don't understand. I have seen before, and on D and other places before, people with master's degrees, mind you, y'all, they will try to start them out at $15 an hour or $10 an hour. I could have been working for $10 an hour at Starbucks when I was there. I mean, I'm not, no offense or nothing like that, but I'm just saying, like, people don't go to school and pay all this money just to be making minimum wage or barely be able to pay their bills. So I feel like it's a slap in the face to us as a profession, because you're pretty much telling us, well, I'm gonna give you all these things that you gotta do, but this is how much we're gonna pay you. This is how much I feel like you're worth. So that's definitely something to look out for. Like, just be encouraged. Like, there is money to be made out here, but just know that you are gonna get tried, okay? And you got to be able to navigate through that and be like, I might need the experience, but I do also need my bills paid. So just, that's something to just weigh out and think about as well. Another pro is networking opportunities. I feel like you are able to meet so many different people because you are pretty much a toolbox. People come to you to get all kinds of resources. You have nurses or schools, therapists in the outpatient therapy. All these different places are reaching out to you, possibly to get a service or vice versa. So you're able to network with so many different people, and due to this, you're able to create relationships in the community and higher places, like maybe a legislation's office or something of that sort. So you can be able to continue to keep building your connections with people and get out here and do a lot of things. If you want to start your own business and stuff, that's another really good thing that can come from that. So I do feel like being in social work, you are able to network a lot and meet a lot of different people based on our field being so diverse. Back to the cons. Another con I can say is the demand of the job. So that goes a little bit back to what I just said, as far as they want you to do all these things, but yet you're trying to pay me this. So I feel like a lot of times they try to put a lot of duties on the social worker just because we can do a lot of stuff, but it's not fair, because when I read my job description, baby, I didn't have to do XYZ. You got me doing all of this, but where is the money? Where is the, come on now, like, where is it? So you definitely got to be cautious of that. And just be careful too, like if you are looking for a job and you notice that you do see a lot of different duties, but then the pay's not adding up, that's a red flag to me. So you always want to try to like get something where it seems like it's straightforward. And even if you do start the job and you start to notice like they're throwing a lot of work on you, extra client, extra cases, or whatever you're doing, just pay attention to that kind of stuff. And your mental comes first. So if you feel like you got to leave something that you did not sign up for, you got to do that, because you need your mind more than anything. If you don't got this, you ain't gonna be able to do nothing. So that's that as far as that con. Another pro I would say is you are able to be a good critical thinker. So you have to look outside of yourself in a lot of situations and think about it in a social work perspective, which is, that's the pie environment, the pie perspective, systems perspectives, all these different type of theories and stuff like that that they give us to use with our clients, because we're not judging them based on what we would do, but based on whatever their situation is. You apply one of those theories and then you figure out what's the best one for that person, so you can help assist them. So I do feel like I said, it allows you to think very, very well, and it allows you to be able to, when you get in any situation in life, like you're able to actually think it through, because it's like your job forces you to do that. So I feel like I said, another pro is definitely being a good critical thinker. That has definitely been something that has helped me a lot, and I feel like I'm able to make better decisions and also help people better because of that. So that's another pro. All right, so on to another con. This one, and I know a lot of y'all gonna feel me if you're a social worker right now, it's got to be one of the, I feel like one of the worst things of being a social worker, the documentation. Oh my gosh, it's just like I don't even want to look at a laptop no more, because it's like I just think about typing. But literally, you have to document everything. If you are working in the court system, you have to document that. If you're working as a mental health social worker, you have to document that. If you're in the schools, you have to document that. So every time you're meeting with a client, an interaction, anything, you're giving them a service, you're giving them a referral, that has to be documented. So it gets very, very tedious, and you can burn out very, very quickly due to documentation. So that is something that, you know, I want you guys to take into consideration. Like if you're not a good writer, or you're not a good person that you like to, you know, type a lot or whatever, this is probably not going to be the field for you, because a lot of the different jobs that they have, you have to do some kind of documentation. So that is something to take into consideration, which brings me to my next point. I do feel like a pro that can come from this is, over time you can become a better writer. So I feel like you need to be able to write to do a lot of things. You can write your own grants. You could be able to write better papers if you're in school. If you're trying to start a business or anything of that sort, you're able to write things up in a more professional manner. So you're kind of forced to learn how to write more properly due to the fact that you're documenting a lot of these things. So I do feel like that is a good thing and a pro that can come from the documentation, but it is something that can become very overwhelming. So, you know, just, you gotta weigh your pros and cons, you know, out of that situation. But that's that. All right, so another con we have here is the licensing process. So as a social worker, you don't have to be licensed in some states. Like I'm in Virginia and I only have my bachelor's degree, and I'm able to work, you know, certain jobs without having to go and get my licensure for that. But if you do have your licensure, you are able to get more opportunities and more jobs, get paid more. And I know in certain states you have to actually go through the board and actually take the test to get it and stuff like that. And I also think they said too, like if you want to actually be called a social worker, you have to take tests. But I went and paid my money. I got my degree. My degree says social work, so baby, I'm a social worker, okay? And I plan on going back to school and getting my master's and becoming a licensed clinical social worker. So I'm gonna call myself a social worker because that's what I'm doing. But anyways, back to that. Yeah, you do have to do licensing and stuff like that in order to be able to work certain positions and get paid more money. So that can be stressful for people, because I know exams, they're not my favorite personally, and other people be stressed out because of them as well. So if you want to work your way up, that's just something that you're gonna take in consideration, that licensing that you're gonna have to get over time. The last part I'm gonna say is the field being so diverse. So I love that social work is a huge thing. If you get tired of doing one thing, you can go into do something else. Like if you don't want to do mental health, you can work in a school. If you are tired of working in the school system, you can work in the jails. If you're tired of working in the jail, you can work in a therapist's office. You can start your own outpatient therapy practice. You can start your whole mental health practice. You can do a lot of different things. So if you find yourself being like, this wasn't for me, you always have some backup stuff. That's why I feel like you can't go wrong with this field, just because of the fact that it's so diverse. Like if you get tired of doing one thing, there's a lot of different plethoras of social workers in these different areas. So definitely think that that's one of the good things about being a social worker, is being able to have those things to lean back on. And if you want to try these new things, you do have that option to do so. All right, and then the last con I'm gonna say about being a social worker is not being respected as a profession. So I feel like a lot of times we're the underdogs. We're the underdogs. We have to fight a lot in order to be able to even get called a profession, or people to take us serious as a profession. Like you have Nurse Appreciation Week, you have Teachers Appreciation Week, we have Social Work Month. Some people still don't even know what that is, but you know, I'm here as one of the people trying to help you guys and educate y'all and help y'all a little bit more to learn about social workers, and not the negative light that you guys have probably seen from us, because there's a lot of good things that we do out here in the community and stuff of that sort. So as time progresses and goes on, I do think things will get better, but you know, as of right now, it is still a struggle, and people don't see us as, I guess, on the other spectrums of like doctors and all these other things. But without us, a lot of stuff wouldn't move. I'm being very honest with you. Like, we're the ones that's like in the trenches and really out here in these communities and getting things done and stuff, and then we're able to get our clients, or whatever you want to call it, to a better place, so they can be able to go to these other resources and all these other professions that, you know, are probably a little bit more, I feel like, respected or whatnot. But you know, one day we're gonna get there. I am definitely a firm believer in all of that, but that is something to take into consideration as well. Like, we're still in that process of being respected as a profession, but I do feel like I said, in due time, we're gonna get there one day eventually. And doing stuff like this and helping to educate people is gonna help us to get to that point. So that's that. All right, y'all, and that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Of course, comment down below some of the pros and cons that you feel like you've experienced if you are a social worker and you're watching me, just from being in the field, or if you're currently in school right now and it's some things that you're curious about, or some questions and things of that sort. Definitely comment them down below as well. Y'all, I'm trying to get this social work Q&A pushed out, so I'm gonna put a poll up very soon. I need you guys to respond to the poll and also comment down below so I can start getting some questions together, so we can get this out there, because I know you guys ask a lot of questions, very long, detailed questions, and I want to be able to get them answered for you guys. So that's why I want to do an actual video for it. So just make sure that you guys are responding in the comments and to the polls that I'm going to post in the community tab or whatever, so we can be able to get that underway. If you guys made it all the way to the end of this video and you still ain't subscribed to the family yet, what you doing on? What you waiting on, sis? Or man, if you're watching me as well, because I know men watch me too, be sure to click that red subscribe button down below before leaving out. Give your girl a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, you guys. And yeah, I thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate y'all so much. Don't forget to watch all the other content on my channel as well. This is not just a social work channel. Disclaimer, want to put that out there. I do, you know, everything else that applies to my life on this channel. But of course, I'm going to pop in every in every here and there with a social work video as well, because hello, that's what I do. So but anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye y'all.